Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh,
A little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! It doesn't matter!
Oh, it doesn't matter.
This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
Beat me if you can! Survive!
it's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my brother Tommy. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good.
And also joining us is our good brother from Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. It's Richard. How's it going?
Howdy, folks. Double R here.
Oh, boy.
RICHARDROSS. Ha ha.
Is that going to be your new introduction for yourself now?
People love Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
yeah.
His podcast is taking off. It's like one of the top 10 wrestling podcasts out there.
It's just funny to me to see people that have always said that they hated him now say that they love him.
Oh, is that how it always is? Like, people, when their career is active, they hate them, but then
like X-Pac heat.
yes, exactly. But now after the fact, looking back on, I'm a big fan. I respect that so-and-so's body of work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think the common criticism with Double J is that Mike Graham said in the shoot interview that Jeff Jarrett could never draw a dime, but Jeff Jarrett's a bigger name than Mike Graham, and Mike Graham was only big in one territory because his dad was the promoter. So
I was going to say, who's Mike Graham?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Jeff Jarrett, not to go too much on a Jeff Jarrett tangent, but what he did in the ring, great body of work, successful, but even outside the ring, as far as, working with his dad in the Memphis territory, obviously WWF, WCW, and then, just starting TNA. So, what he's done for multiple promotions and for the business as a whole, it's amazing.
I mean, for the longest time, he had the most title reigns as Intercontinental Champion. I think he was 6-time Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
4-time WCW Champion.
How many times was he NWA champion?
I think 6. 6 for NWA TNA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
World heavyweight champion.
That's right, with TNA as well.
Yeah.
No, dude, his body of work, if you didn't list the name, but just list down all the accomplishments, there'd be so many people who would want that same career.
Even his in-ring style's solid. It's kind of like he's kind of like Miz. Like, I don't remember Jeff Jarrett ever getting injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you don't think that he's a good wrestler, watch Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle. You'll see how good of a wrestler he is.
Or Jeff Jarrett, Shawn Michaels at In Your House.
Yeah.
That one was a 95, 96.
Yeah. Or if you can stomach it, Jarrett versus Benoit ladder match from WCW was stellar.
Yeah. So
Plus a great puncher too.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. I mean, Tommy and I.
His work punches are probably the best ever. Right outside of Jerry Lawler and Jackie Fargo.
Yeah, there's
It's that Memphis style, baby.
it's a lost art throwing a
work
Yeah.
punch.
a work punch.
Or I call it
Yeah.
a workman punch.
Yeah, so no, definitely check out his podcast. I would love to interview him one day. And so technically his podcast is on the network that my company that I work for owns. So maybe there could be some
Make it
crossover
so.
there.
Make it so.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll work on it. But
On a Saturday.
there you go. On Saturday. You want to join us? You want to join us, Richard? You want to sit there?
Yes.
He'll go JEFF JARRE double T. And you're like, hi, I'm Richard. You do the whole thing.
I think we can all just spell our names for the first 5 minutes of a podcast, like how this one's going right now.
Hi, I'm DANNY. And this is TOMMY. That's how I'll start doing that from now on.
There you go.
But
Our last name, Delmore.
we just spell it out. But here we are back at it for another episode of In The Kliq. So much to talk about this
Longest
week.
intro ever.
I know. Great transition right there. Just go right through it. But this week at NXT, they had their big Great American Bash. So much to talk about with that. We'll also talk some SmackDown and just some of the related news coming with that. Some of the injuries, some NXT call-ups. A lot of exciting stuff to talk about this week with WWE. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. NXT this week, Great American Bash 2021, which I love that, you know, they're bringing back the name. That's one thing I just love about NXT in recent years is they're bringing back old properties, old names, pay-per-view names, and are using it in their own form for TV. Maybe not necessarily for a pay-per-view, but for like a big, supersized, regular TV episode with, like I said, Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc, War Games. So it's so cool that they've
In your house?
Yeah, in your house.
See,
yeah.
I agree, and I feel like, especially with Halloween Havoc, like that was the most Halloween Havoc. You know, even with the WCW ones, like they actually went, like everyone went with the theme, and it was fun. And
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if it's because NXT doesn't really have, it's not the same brainchild. So, like, if they're presenting the legacy, you know, the show opened with like Dusty Rhodes talking about the Great American Bash, and it's like if you do that on a WWE pay-per-view for the Great American Bash, which they have done Great American Bashes before, it doesn't feel the same, and I don't think everyone gets it, but I think because the NXT faithful are such hardcore wrestling fans, it's kind of like a nod to us.
Absolutely. And I think they know, for us, you know, the hardcore fans and, you know, maybe the older fans, we know the history and the legacy behind that name. And so just the fact that they bring back those names gets us excited from a nostalgia standpoint. And I think for the most part, they try to pay respect to those brand names and make these shows feel like it's a continuation of what we've already seen in the past, from the sets to the graphics, the intro, as you said, Dusty Rhodes hearing his voice in the beginning of the episode, that was great.
just the presentation itself.
Yeah, the overall execution of the show. Yeah. I think that, you know, Triple H, to his credit, or the other powers that be from the creative standpoint, who bring this together, put this on, they really, I think, are just trying to, you know, pay tribute to just some of these great wrestling shows and themes that we grew up watching.
Now, hear me out. What if, I know WWE has their pay-per-view of, you know, Clash of the Champions, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think NXT could do something like that, like from time to time, you know, an event like that, like WCW or the NWA did with TBS, you know, their Clash of the Champions?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So WWE, they have their pay-per-view like what, September after SummerSlam. It's Clash of Champions, and then WCW.
I feel like in order to do what you want, Tommy, which I like that idea, but I think if you're going to top it a little or add a little more flavor to that, is that you'd have to have all of the NXT UK championships on the line as well. Because I feel like, I feel like if you just have all the NXT titles and the Cruiserweight title on Clash of Champions show, it's just another takeover.
Oh, yeah. So, I agree. I mean, you got to have the UK talent come in, and, you know, they could do like it's kind of like an international thing, you know.
Even when things open up, it'd be really cool to see them go over to the UK and do it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Worlds Collide 2.0.
Yeah,
put over there.
Yeah,
Clash of Champions UK.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be great.
That would be awesome.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. If these, bringing back these old pay-per-view names and doing them on, you know, Tuesday nights or in the past Wednesday nights just on regular TV, it's cool filler in between the 2 to 3 month period in between takeovers. So like kind of like the halfway point in between takeovers, it's kind of like this supersized pay-per-view level episode of NXT, but on, you know, free TV. So I guess it's their way of doing Clash of Champions, but without calling it that and just using the old pay-per-view name. So it's kind of like a good compromise, I guess you could say, which I dig, and I love this. And so for me, like theoretically, every 6 weeks roughly, you have something to look forward to. Even though this Great American Bash came, In Your House was only 3 weeks ago roughly, so it was kind of quick turnaround as far as like 2 big theme pay-per-view or theme shows back to back. So
yeah, I'll take it still.
Oh, totally, absolutely. Just from just a fan perspective, and you get all these great matchups just on a Tuesday night, which was awesome. But yeah, no, a lot of stuff on this show to talk about. It was a stacked show. They had 4 big matches, and there's a lot of great segments out of the ring as well. So let's just go run down through the card real quick. So opening match, MSK defending the NXT tag titles against Ciampa and Thatcher. I like this match as far as it's a contrast in styles. You got the old school, older veterans, Thatcher and Ciampa, and you got MSK, who are the young, upcoming talent guys who are the champions, the high flyers.
Super fast.
Yeah, so it's definitely a contrast in wrestling styles. And, we kind of talked about this last week, their little face-off. It was like Nash.
Corny.
But Nash and Ciampa were really kind of, I'm trying to think of the right word, they really were kind of going at it like, I don't know how much of that was a work or a shoot, but chipping, is that the word?
I think it's just 2 live dogs just barking at each other.
Yeah.
It's 2 dogs barking on the opposite fence.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But no, I really like this opening match here. I mean, the ending was a little questionable. I was not totally satisfied with. And that's 2 matches on this show, and this was one of them where I wasn't super happy with the finish per se. But yeah, Richard, what do you think of the matchup, the tag match here?
I dug it. Always cool to see Ciampa do the air raid siren through the table like that.
Yeah.
Clash of styles, but chaos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
It was.
It was very hard hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It was just Ciampa, of course, Thatcher. Yeah, it's gonna be hard hitting. MSK, they're trying to do the high flying stuff, but I remember Wesley was doing the flips, and Ciampa comes from out of the corner and just missile drop kicks him.
Yeah, that was a great spot.
Stop him from his doing the flips.
That was great.
And then so that was great as well. But let's talk about the ending here, which I was not completely satisfied. It was not like a pure, clean win, per se.
Just a roll-up pin.
Yeah, but even what happened before that, so, Ciampa did the fairy tale ending on Lee, and then Thatcher was applying the ankle lock.
Yeah.
And then Ciampa was trying to keep Carter out of the ring, but Carter pushed Ciampa, and he makes the save, and they just all fall over each other.
Yeah.
And then Lee got Thatcher for a small package. So it was not like this big over-the-top finish with one of them executing their finisher on each other.
Yeah, it was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, it was just like, let's all fall over each other, and then a roll-up. So, the majority of this match was great, but the finish was like, oh, that's it. And I don't know, was MSK getting booed a little bit?
I think so.
A little bit.
So I was like, I don't know, I'm a little worried. I like MSK, and
you're also it's the crowd. That crowd in particular has been watching Ciampa for years. He's kind of their guy, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, he's a lifer in the NXT brand, I would imagine.
And plus, the fans like Thatcher too, because he's just an old school kind of guy, and he's just very pure in the ring.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I'm okay.
They might have just been strapped on time. The referee could have told them to take it home.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is, I think with that finish, they're like, okay, this is not necessarily a takeover, so we can. I think takeover has a higher standard of wonky finishes. We're gonna execute a finisher. We're not gonna have interference.
I noticed that with 3 matches on this show that it felt like they were on fast forward a little bit, which I liked. I did like, but I mean, I think this one was affected because the champions aren't as experienced as the other 2. So when they say go home, it's just kind of like bing, bang, boom, done. Instead of hey, we got a couple seconds, let's get this done. We don't need a couple extra seconds with our hands in the air.
Yeah. Well, my guess is if there is a rematch, let's say at a takeover, then that will probably have a more clean, decisive victory with the finish.
definitive.
That's
match.
yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. I think with this match, like, hey, it is a free show on a Tuesday night, so we're not going to give them necessarily the best finish. So I guess that kind of leaves a little bit of this, desire for a better finish, therefore maybe a rematch. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
There's going to be a conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, but listen, the tag team division is pretty stacked right now. So what's next for MSK? Yeah, do they keep battling these two guys, or does the Grizzly Young Veterans get back involved, or Imperium? It's going to be interesting to see what's next for the whole tag team division as a whole. And I hope MSK can kind of bounce back from these fans booing that night and kind of get back on more of the strong babyface role for them. Next up was the face-off between Johnny Gargano and NXT champion Karrion Kross. Regal and Samoa Joe are in the ring, and then Johnny comes out with Austin Theory. Was Austin Theory with him? I can't.
He came later on.
Okay. And Kross came out by himself, no Scarlett, which I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But they immediately just started going back and forth, calling each other out. It was just more of a preview.
Yeah.
For their match next week, which I thought was going to be on this show here.
I thought so too.
A lot of people, I think, thought it was going to be at Great American Bash. I don't know if they pulled it because they're like,
well, next week is Great American Bash as well, isn't it?
No, it's just a regular.
Just a regular card, yeah.
It's not a 2-night.
No. Last year was 2 nights, which I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But this year was just 1 night only.
And you got the breakout tournament too.
Yeah, so. Breakout tournament.
Saray's match
is going to be wrestling. So this coming Tuesday is going to be a stacked show as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Richard. Yeah, what'd you think of this whole face off here? And it looks.
Oh, I liked it. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah,
because I feel like we haven't quite got the best of Kross. Well, maybe that 5-way was pretty good.
Yeah, that
Kross.
was a quality match from him.
Because most of his matches has been him squashing people for the most part.
Right.
I mean, aside from the match with Keith Lee, which goddamn, he continued wrestling with a separated shoulder.
Yeah.
The man's a beast. So.
Yeah.
Oh, totally, dude. I've separated my shoulder or dislocated. No, I've dislocated.
Yeah.
That hurts so much. I mean, just popping.
Did you do
back.
the Mel Gibson thing?
Yeah, he didn't have the straitjacket. We were just talking about this the other day.
We were randomly talking about,
since Richard Donner passed away, may he rest in peace. Because I'm a big fan of the first 2 Lethal Weapon movies, and I talked about the Mel Gibson separated shoulder incident when he had the straitjacket on.
I separated my shoulder in a basketball game, and the trainer popped me back in on the bench. And then the rest of that night, it was just throbbing pain.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had some Vicodin left over from my wisdom teeth surgery like a couple months earlier. It was just because I didn't take any after my wisdom teeth surgery. I just used ibuprofen. So I popped those just to reduce the pain. I had to go to school the next day. Oh, so painful.
You felt good though after.
But I'm just saying, for Karrion Kross to finish that match with the injured shoulder, he has my respect in that aspect.
Yeah,
he's gonna eat Johnny Gargano alive.
So that's okay. Let's talk about that real quick. So
I don't know.
William Regal
We'll
announced Samoa Joe is going to be the special guest referee.
I like that.
So they're teasing
conflict.
Yes. Yeah. And Samoa Joe, the rule is if you're provoked, then he can put his hands on someone.
Yeah.
But as a ref, though, how much will he actually do that for?
Yeah, he's got to be neutral.
Yeah.
My best guess is that he's going to beat Johnny with the coquina clutch, kind of an in-your-face to Samoa Joe.
Rub in front, like, hey, this is your move.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But let me ask you this. So the big zinger, obviously, Johnny Gargano, or Kross called out Gargano said you're wearing your wife's pants because he has the tight jeans on.
The skinny jeans.
The skinny jeans, and then Gargano.
Guys, don't wear tight jeans.
Guys don't wear the skinny jeans.
But then Gargano bounced back.
Men don't wear skinny jeans.
Exactly.
But Gargano bounced back and said, you're talking about my wife's pants, but you can't lace up her wrestling boots, which is interesting. Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole in the last month have been really calling out Karrion Kross's wrestling style, which is, I wonder what is the genesis of that. Like, is that something in the back locker room guys talk about and are like trying to use that?
I think that's playing off of the internet.
Yeah,
that too.
There has to be a reason why these guys keep going towards that over and over to try to take down.
They're trying
Kross.
to get pops from that audience. I mean, those are guys that like got their name from that crowd.
Yeah, so that was like,
but so did Cross. So
yeah, absolutely. So it's gonna be interesting, but I would not be surprised if Gargano wins because of Samoa Joe, and then Cross, moves up to Raw or SmackDown because he's been doing the dark matches and the main event stuff. So,
Right.
But there's no way Cross, based on his character, leaves NXT without getting vengeance on Joe.
yeah,
That's
so
a possibility.
So, to me, I was thinking is he beats Gargano. He's beaten everyone else on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't beat Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe beats him to become NXT champion.
But is he going to be medically cleared to wrestle?
I think he probably is at this point.
and they're
Okay.
just keeping it under wraps and making a big surprise.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. So I definitely this coming Tuesday for NXT, I'm gonna be glued just to see what happens
Yeah.
and what's next for Cross.
Like NBC, it's must see TV.
I mean, who knows? Listen, Cross could easily still win, and get called up and just do Asuka and just
relinquish the title.
Kevin Owens did that though. Remember, he was NXT champion and on the main roster.
Yeah,
that'd be cool as well. Get some crossover more, for Raw and SmackDown back to NXT. I don't know. We'll see how that all goes. But yeah, I'm excited. Samoa Joe, that's the big wild card in this match that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, big stipulation.
Yeah, and then next up, we saw Cameron Grimes take on LA Knight. The winner will become $1 Million champion, but if LA Knight wins, Cameron Grimes becomes his butler.
Mm-hmm.
This match, I thought was a lot of fun.
I did too. Yeah,
it was a lot of. I mean, if anything, it felt more of like a Raw or SmackDown type of match. I mean, it wasn't like super technical or anything, but it was a lot of fun. Like the hard hitting. They
had a good brawl.
I love when they do that crossbody and they flip in the ring, in the middle of the ring, rotate.
The Spanish fly.
Yeah, that is so good. I love seeing that. Like, to me,
I love seeing it from the right person because I feel like that move, that's a lucha move, and I see a lot of people do it that shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes is an exception to that. I think Charlotte Flair's another one, but like whenever I see Ricochet do it or Cedric Alexander, it's just another spot to me. Or Mustafa Ali. It's just like, to me, it's when those guys do it, it's just,
You expect them to do that.
You guys have no style. You have everything, every style, and that's not his style.
Yeah. And then, but this match though, like it was a lot of fun. I mean, just, the back and forth between them. I like LA Knight. He grabbed the title and tried to bring it in the ring, and he was trying to use it, and the ref pulled it. And then, it fell on the outside on the apron. And then, they were on the outside. Cameron was going to try to kick, and he missed, fell, and then LA Knight hit the DDT
right
on the outside onto the title, and threw him back in the ring. And then
a maneuver.
But it was cool. Like, he used a DDT on the outside. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And then
took it to his advantage with the belt on the floor there.
Yeah. And then LA Knight got the pinfall and retained the title, and Cameron Grimes is going to be his butler. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really comedic. It's going to be very entertaining, and I think for LA Knight, this might actually help give him a little more character building.
Yeah,
by feeding working off Cameron Grimes.
And what's his finisher?
Oh, the FT.
It's
almost like a stunner, but he drags you down.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like a cross between that, the Diamond Cutter, and like the Rude Awakening.
Yeah, like a headlock DDT, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that the right word for it? But
stunner DDT.
Yeah, exactly. But it's gonna be interesting because I think LA Knight, for some people, just kind of reading online, they just think he's just a loudmouth on the microphone. I enjoy it. Yeah. But I'm just saying, with this,
you big dummy.
They don't get it.
But with Cameron Grimes, I think this might actually add some layers to him as a character and like working with Cameron. And you kind of see more of who LA Knight is as a person based on how bad he's probably going to treat Cameron Grimes as a butler. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just trying to think of different scenarios that the two of them can do together. I hope we get like vignettes every week.
Yeah.
Very similar, how we saw Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne when they were like the odd couple. And,
or recently with Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So,
I think we're going to get that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he going to do at the arena?
I know. So it's gonna be at the house, like cleaning toilets and
putting chlorine in his swimming pool.
Yeah. And I'm sure Ted DiBiase will maybe make a save in a few weeks. I mean, I hope this lasts for a few weeks, these like video packages and stuff, and then before he turns on him and gets the one up over him, maybe they'll have another match at a next takeover, and he becomes the $1 million champion himself. But dude, he is so over. When he came to the ring and, in his theme song, his entrance music says, "To the moon," the whole crowd was cheering along. He is like, I mean, him and Gargano have gone, who were heels a few months ago, have turned back into baby faces. So was, to me, was just such an amazing thing. So next up, we had the NXT Women's Tag Title match. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell defending against Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. This match was really good, but this was another one, Richard, where I was a little frustrated with the finish.
It was, the whole thing was fast.
Yeah, it was very fast. Anything that stood out for you just watching this?
I also wonder how much of that could have been based off of Vince's meeting down at NXT with the talent.
Oh, really?
Maybe they know that the boss is watching right now, and they're scouting.
Yeah.
And I get it. The narrative with the internet wrestling community is that, no one wants to leave NXT. But it's like, you leave NXT, you make more money.
Yeah.
So let's be real here. Mm-hmm. So they might tell you that I want to be in NXT forever, but they want to make that money. So
absolutely.
It could be that too. I love this match. I thought this match was great. Haven't had a good lights out, someone comes out to distract in quite a while. So that I always like that because of Sabu.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, but Indy Hartwell, I thought she looked great. I mean, she had the Razor Ramon gear that she teased at In Your House. Even though she didn't wrestle. Did she wrestle In Your House? I can't remember now. But she had it there. But they actually used it this night. That was great. And I'm happy for Zoe Stark because she's been booked like when she first appeared.
She's on every week.
Yeah. So she started out red hot, then she started losing some matches, and now it's like, okay, they're trying to build her back up again. But like, what a way to get put over by obviously tagging with Io Shirai, who's been gone since she lost the title. And they win the match here, and they're now tag team champions. But yeah, the finish here, it wasn't like a clean finish as far as we saw that the battery charger thing come up and it went from 99% to 100. Lights go down, and it's Tegan Nox.
I think the only time you really need to be worried about wins and losses is when someone is established and they have a squash match and they get squashed.
Yeah,
because I feel like with Zoe, she keeps having really good matches, and whether she wins or loses, they're not short matches. So. I just want to put that out there. I don't think it matters that she's lost some matches, and I don't think she needed to be built up because those were matches that she lost against established people.
And she's technically like the rookie.
She's the rookie, but at the same time, like, she didn't get squashed. She didn't get, she didn't look bad in the loss.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Tegan Nox, she shows up. I just was kind of laughing.
You mean Nox?
Nox, yeah. We'll get into that in a little bit. But she had that, I was kind of laughing. She had that big baggy flannel shirt. I was like, is this grunge? Is she like a big grunge fan?
Yeah, she's like at Woodstock 94.
I don't know. I was kind of like...
She's not from here, Dan.
I was kind of underwhelmed with that. I was like, couldn't you kind of...
She had the jorts and,
a little more badass looking. I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah.
But anyway, Candice LeRae was all shocked, and they obviously have history together. So she comes running down, attacks her, and Shirai knocked LeRae out of the ring, and then that's when Stark delivered the suplex into a knee strike, and then Stark covered Indy Hartwell for the win. So yeah, they are new tag team champions. So Io Shirai, it's like, okay, she's not going to be probably getting a rematch with Raquel anytime soon. They're trying to freshen things up, I'm guessing, get some other fresh challengers for Raquel. So I think this is a great way to keep Io Shirai busy, in a tag team program right now. So that's cool. She was gone off TV for a while, and now she's back after a couple weeks, and she's tag team champion. So the Io Shirai, the fact that she's a champion once again, that's I think that's great. And NXT for her and for the brand, I think that's really good. But after the commercial break, we see a video package. Dexter Lumis came out and carried off Indy Hartwell. So when I think a lot of people
Phoenix
thought,
really happy.
What's that?
That made Beth Phoenix really happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people thought that story was dead because they haven't acknowledged it. But I guess it's back. So I don't know. I'm kind of hit or miss on Dexter.
That's what stalkers do. That's what stalkers do.
They just show up randomly when it's least expected. So,
exactly.
I don't know. I'm kind of like losing interest in Dexter Lumis a little bit. Like,
he needs to start talking.
Yeah,
that whole like bit is pretty stale.
I was good. Yeah,
he needs a better ring attire.
Yeah, it kind of needs a change. Maybe Indy, in this new relationship of theirs, she can kind of transform him a little bit.
True.
Maybe that's the key here.
We'll see.
Maybe.
And Candice LeRae's, also going to get involved. So we see Hit Row. They celebrate Swerve's win last week as NXT North American. They have a Cypher event. Is that the proper term?
Oh, I know.
Apparently, Cypher is just like where a bunch of rappers get together and perform. So it's like a celebration party.
Anyway, what happened after this segment?
I know. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I'm not a hip hop expert by any sense. So,
this went over my head completely.
Yeah, exactly.
I was kind of on my phone.
I know. I was looking at Twitter reactions, so everyone loved it. So I was like, okay, people that are a fan of that, great. I trust your guys' opinion. Like, yeah. I have no idea.
Kudos to you.
But it apparently looked real. It was like a mini concert, so that was cool. I thought that was really cool stuff. So I trust everyone's who loved that.
Next.
So next was the main event. Adam Cole taking on Kyle O'Reilly, part 2. This match I thought was really good. I
like this one better.
Yeah, it was just straight up wrestling.
Well,
because I think when we watched the first one, my critique was that it felt really long.
It was long.
And this felt like it was on fast forward. So it was like, oh, this is great.
Well, now
that's the pace I want. I don't need a long main event for every main event.
Yeah,
that's Ring of Honor. I don't need that.
Yeah. Well, this one. I mean, I love, they start out just obviously just working the mat, kind of getting technical, rolling around, just straight up old school wrestling. It was great.
Yeah.
And then Adam Cole was working on Kyle O'Reilly's knee a lot, and that played into the finish here. But it was interesting because you could tell it's a grudge match. Obviously, these guys were Undisputed Era. They've fallen apart, and Undisputed Era is done. And it's like the story here is like, can Kyle O'Reilly shine on his own? Adam Cole keeps telling him, you're nothing without me. So that whole grudge is great. I kind of wish that street fight or the non-sanctioned match for the first one would have been saved for maybe the blow off, the third match, the rubber match. You know what I mean? It's like this match would have been a great first match.
It's easy to say that
in hindsight. Yeah, absolutely.
In hindsight, but you have to remember there was quite a build up to that. So also, that's kind of why you have to look at it that way.
Also, you could look at maybe they can have a third match, but make it 2 out of 3 falls.
Or steel cage match.
Yeah.
I mean, that first match, theoretically, there were rumors that Adam Cole was going to get called up, so maybe they only thought they were going to have one opportunity to have each other face.
He's not.
That's true as well. I mean, we
got some call-ups this week.
Exactly. 3. So, I love the spot. Obviously, they were on the outside, and Adam Cole hit the Panama Sunrise on the outside. Like, that looked like it hurt so bad. But they go back in the ring, and Adam Cole was trying to do another Panama Sunrise, but Kyle O'Reilly kicked him, but it was that same injured knee, and then he hit the what was it? He kicked out of, let's see, Cole went for the Panama Sunrise. O'Reilly kicked it and blocked it. And then O'Reilly delivered a strike to the knees. Let's see. That's right. Adam Cole hit another Panama Sunrise and hit the last shot and picked up the victory. So I really enjoyed this, but I was almost a little surprised when Kyle O'Reilly kicked out previously. I really thought that was going to be the finish here, but I still enjoyed Adam Cole getting a win here, though, and it's now 1-1. So obviously, you would think there's going to be a rubber match at some point.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe the next takeover.
I mean, what I thought is you start a brutal blood feud between these guys who have been friends and partners for years, and with the unsanctioned match, and and you let the babyface win, of course, in this case with Kyle O'Reilly, but then you followed up a couple months later with the heel getting his win back, and kind of in a match who's the better wrestler. But these guys are not. Go on.
I would also argue that because there is concern that when Adam Cole gets called up, I think he needs as much momentum going his way than Kyle O'Reilly would. So I think a win for Adam Cole over Kyle O'Reilly would be more towards Adam Cole going to the main roster than it would to help Kyle O'Reilly, who's staying in NXT.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
ordinarily though, I'd be in agreement 100%. Like, you do the job on your way out. But I think in this case, it's like, nah, give him the rocket leaving.
And he's going to need it because, there's obviously the talk of, his size and how will he actually do up on the main roster.
It's one of those, I think for him, it's one of those deals where if you take one step forward, you're taking two steps back. So if he takes a big step forward, then he's taking one step back. Or, if he makes a big enough impact, which I think he has,
I just wonder, when he does eventually get called up, is he going to be too cooled off because he doesn't have the Undisputed Era? Like, if he would have been called up last year when he was still Undisputed Era.
No, because it's a fresh start, number one. Mm-hmm. No one ever comes over from NXT and is a main event guy right away. And here's the other thing to keep in mind is that people always say Vince likes the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, big guys, small guys.
Smaller guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm
pretty sure Adam Cole's bigger than Daniel Bryan is. So
from a height standpoint, I gotta double check. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No, but yeah, I said I was the finish here when Kyle O'Reilly kicked out right before Adam Cole hit the Panama Sunrise again. I was kind of shocked. I thought that was going to be the finish there because Kyle O'Reilly was going for that knee drop. So I thought that was a great callback to their previous match where
he just splatted on the ground.
Remember we had the chain wrapped around his knee. So I thought it was a great callback. But this time Adam Cole knew it was coming, rolled out, and hit his knee. Oh, it was so painful.
He just landed so pancaked.
Exactly. So then, when Adam Cole, went for the Panama Sunrise again into the last shot, great finish right there. So it's gonna be. I know. Listen, when this Undisputed Era broke up, we knew there was gonna be months of story right here. So I wonder how much they're gonna ride this out. If Adam Cole is going to stick around for a long time or, he's going to get called up soon. I don't know. So
I'm ready for him to get called up.
You're ready for that?
Yes.
I think it'd be cool. I'm all for that as well. Mm-hmm. So, but no, overall, listen, Great American Bash was a lot of fun. And, this coming Tuesday is going to be a stack episode as well. So, looking forward to that. All right, let's just power through SmackDown this week. The big news that came out, it was Friday morning, I think it was. WWE tweeted out and announced that Bayley got injured while training and she's going to be out for 9 months. They didn't specify what injury it was, but it has to be a knee. Yeah, 'cause she had they did the video package of her, the promo. It was funny. Like some people I know were like, I texted, hey, she's out 9 months. I'm like, what? Is she pregnant? It's like everyone thinks that she's pregnant. I was like, no, it looks like she had like a knee injury or something. But, so it kind of sucks that here Bayley is injured, especially, it's like a week before they're going to be in front of fans again, Money in the Bank, her match with Bianca Belair. So I'm so bummed for her because she was one of the MVPs of the whole pandemic era. So I was really hoping to see her get that big pop from the crowd, especially because this year's WrestleMania, she didn't wrestle. She did pop up a couple times over that weekend, but nonetheless, I was hoping she deserves a big reaction from the crowd. Well, now it's going to be 9 months till she gets that. And it's going to be interesting. Even though she's a heel, when she comes back after injury, she's going to get a big reaction anyway. They all do.
Yeah. I wonder if she can make it back in 6 months.
Like Royal Rumble. Maybe. See how fast if she has that John Cena healing ability.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, is I wonder, because she cut that video promo for YouTube that they replayed on the show, and she kept it as a heel. She blamed the fans.
Oh, I loved it.
She's like, I was training for you guys, and look what happened. I'm injured, so I blame you. So
she's got a point.
Yeah, she does, absolutely. But apparently it was a total freak accident. She was training and just, they're doing some catch wrestling, and she just got injured in her knee. You saw the brace on and stuff. I wonder though, because you see the Miz, he's still on Raw. Even though he's injured, he's in the wheelchair. I wonder if Bayley can kind of do that and just still appear on SmackDown. Because that's what I always thought was interesting. People who get injured, they're taken off TV and never see them again.
Do some commentary with Michael Cole and Pat.
Exactly. I mean, I think there's some ways you can still utilize her name. And maybe, she can call out the women's division from a distance. Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and her on commentary or something. It'll be interesting if how they use her. Because I think that's something WWE does a lot. When someone gets hurt, they take them off TV. You never see them again. I mean, I guess that's kind of good because you miss them. And when they do show up, they have a big pop from the crowd. So, but we shall see what happens. Also this week, it was announced. So 3 call-ups from NXT to SmackDown. We saw 2 in person. Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox take on Natty and Tamina in a non-title women's tag match here. But when they came to the ring, first off, the Hamilton, the announcer, says Shotzi and Nox. So they didn't say Shotzi Blackheart, no Blackheart, and they didn't say Tegan Nox. I don't know.
Shotzi I can live with. Which
is the one name.
Yeah. Nox, I feel like if you're going to cut out one of the two, you would cut out Nox and just call her Tegan.
Yeah.
Like Tegan and Sarah,
Yeah. Oh, the thing is... Wait, is that them? Is that her?
No,
that's Tattoo.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry. I was walking with the ghosts. Remember that song?
Sure, I think
Come on, Tegan and Sarah.
Tegan and Sarah, man. I heard one of their songs the other day
That's
on
good
the radio.
Music. We should do a podcast about Tegan and Sarah.
They have great voices.
And a podcast about Jeff Jarrett.
Now that I've ended my Finding Columbo podcast, I'd like to start a new one about Tegan and Sarah.
I'll join you.
We'll call it Tegan and Shotzi.
Tegan and Shotzi. Bingo.
Yeah.
TS.
Rock and Wrestling Connection.
There you go.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So, I mean, listen, so they come out. I mean, I hope this is... I don't know. I know Vince in the past has cut people's names down. Like Apollo Crews was he just Apollo, right? Or I'm trying to think it was him. I know Andrade they cut him down.
Riddle. Yeah,
Riddle.
And you get used to all of them after a while. Cesaro used to be Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's always one of those things that we are annoyed with, and then in 3 months we're not even gonna care anymore.
But it's interesting though. They come out in the tank.
And Andrade needed it. Andrade, Cien.
Almas. It's a little bit of a mouthful. Yeah. But, with Shotzi here and Tegan, I think a lot of people were bummed because they thought it was going to be Ember Moon. Because Shotzi and Ember Moon were a tag team most recently. But Shotzi and Tegan do have some history in NXT last year, right? Before Tegan got injured, if I remember correctly. So
she was and they were tag team partners for War Games.
Yeah. So it's I'm happy for them. I'm curious what's going to happen here. They did get a big win their first time on SmackDown. I'm excited for them. I obviously wish them all the best, but it'd be kind of curious. I hope they treat them well.
It was a good match.
Yeah, I thought there was some little miscommunication on some stuff, but I thought Tegan Nox looked great. I thought she looked really smooth in the ring. Shotzi, or her and Tamina were not on the same page, it looked like at some points. But nonetheless, I'm excited for it. And then we saw later on a video package, Toni Storm is also coming to SmackDown. So,
cool.
Which I'm excited.
See, it took 3 really good wrestlers to replace Bayley.
That's what Bayley should say in her next promo. Look,
she should. It
took 3 call-ups to replace what I'm leaving behind. So, Toni Storm, I'm excited, but it's kind of interesting because on NXT this week,
I think Toni Storm is a perfect addition at this point in time because she was just getting stale at NXT. So it feels like it's the perfect time to call her up.
Well, she was like on the outside looking in, I felt like, in the main event scene.
She felt like she was there on a holding pattern.
Yeah, she was just, I think, waiting to insert herself in one of the matchups, but they weren't really using her. So I think they're like, okay, listen, Philip, bring her to SmackDown because they definitely need to fill up the roster. It is very thin right now. So
can you imagine how good the roster is going to be when Becky comes back and we've got Becky, Charlotte, Bayley, Piper Niven, Doudrop.
Absolutely.
Alexa. I mean, God, it's just such a stacked roster. People, Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, Asuka.
God.
That's the best
match.
Women's roster ever.
Becky Lynch versus Toni Storm. That's a dream match for me.
Shayna Baszler, Natty. I mean, I'm excited for this, for all three of these ladies' call-ups here. They all definitely deserve it. But also, we saw Sonya Deville announce that because of Bayley's injury, next week, instead of Bianca Belair defending title at Money in the Bank, she's going to defend it on SmackDown, that first one in front of the fans, against Carmella. That's her replacement. We saw Liv Morgan come out, complain. It's like, how did she jump the line? And Sonya announced, well, you're going to be her replacement in the Money in the Bank match. And she's like, oh, so excited. So, Richard, I know I saw on your Instagram you posted about Liv Morgan. Care to share your thoughts on what your prediction is for her?
I think she's got to win it.
The Money in the Bank.
You look at who else is in there, and I could make an argument for a few people, but I feel like there's a bit of a spotlight, a dim light on Liv Morgan, the same way there's been one on Cesaro and the same way there's been one on Big E.
Yeah, I mean, out of everyone in the Money in the Bank match, Liv Morgan is probably the youngest, or
well, I don't think that matters. I think
she's due for a push. Everyone else has had time to shine,
right,
or had their own success in some capacity.
Yeah.
Let me double check here. Yeah, Asuka obviously decorated champion. Naomi's been a SmackDown Women's Champion. Alexa Bliss has been a champion. Nikki Cross.
Well, maybe I could see Asuka win it and then move to SmackDown, which would be interesting.
Yeah, let's see. Nikki Cross, I mean, I don't know. She just became the whole superhero thing, so I don't know if...
You got to let that gimmick out.
That gimmick, I think the crowd's going to love that gimmick.
Yeah, I think it's fine on Raw, though. With Asuka, I think Asuka or Liv Morgan.
Or Selena Vega. I mean, they could have promised...
They're not going to... Her in-ring, come on.
I know.
She needs more time.
Yeah.
She needs more ring work.
Yeah. I mean, Liv Morgan, I think... I mean, maybe that was the story, was the last few weeks she was complaining about everyone else being selected into Money in the Bank except her. Obviously, the whole Bayley situation changed the storyline, but I think that was the whole point. Liv Morgan was trying to fight her way into the Money in the Bank briefcase match, and now she's in it, and now she's probably going to win it. And then therefore it creates that good story. She really fought her way to get that and earned it. So I think that's what they're trying to do here. That was the narrative. So I'm excited for her and what she can do with that. I think she's obviously the last member of the Riot Squad. And so I think it's her time to get a big push. So just a couple of things that, we saw Shinsuke Nakamura to beat Baron Corbin to qualify for Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin.
Even though
growing his hair out.
I love that. Even though that we have seen Nakamura and Corbin a whole lot the last 2 months, I thought this was their best match.
Really?
I thought this was a really fun match. Because I was kind of like, oh, this again. And then I as it's going on, it's like, oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. I just get worried because, Raw is known for all their rematches over and over. And this is like, come on, guys. We've seen this a lot. Hopefully after this past Friday, this is the last time for a long time. Let that breathe. And I'm surprised Baron Corbin maybe has something with Cesaro. So Seth Rollins defeats Cesaro. So Seth Rollins is going to be in the Money in the Bank match now. So Cesaro and Baron Corbin, and let's see, who was it? Apollo and Sami Zayn all lost. So those four guys all have probably gripe to be upset that they're not in the Money in the Bank match. So maybe Cesaro's the only one that's a baby face, while Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Apollo are all heel. So I wonder if Cesaro is going to start a program with one of those guys, as they're all like the losers who didn't qualify. So
I don't think Cesaro's done with Seth.
See, I think they're leaving that open as well. But so we saw Seth Rollins call out Roman Reigns again and wants a match with him. So and the rumor is Roman Reigns and John Cena at SummerSlam. I wonder if they're just laying the Easter eggs for this could be the matchup after that, after SummerSlam, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. even though they're obviously both heels right now, but that's something I think you can keep that in the back of your brain, as far as that's something they could save in the back burner. But Rich, I want to ask you, did you notice when Seth Rollins was cutting his backstage interview with Kayla?
Cesaro?
Cesaro. And then, oh my God, who came confronting him, Tommy?
Edge.
And they're talking, and I like how Edge said, hey, I never forgot about 2014. Remember when Seth Rollins stomped Edge's head on the briefcase?
I don't remember that. You got that freak memory.
Dude.
I do too. I remember.
Continuity, yeah. But did you see the background, the elevator open up?
No.
You did? Oh, you gotta watch it again.
You gotta look closely.
Michael Hayes comes out of the elevator.
Doot, doot, doot.
And you see someone waving like, get out,
God.
get out. He walks away, so doot, doot, doot.
Doot, doot, doot.
So watch it again.
God.
You see Michael Hayes in the background. It was awesome.
I was hoping he would come out. Bad Street in Atlanta, Bad Street, USA. Bad Street in Atlanta, GA.
So last thing we'll touch on with SmackDown is obviously the whole Roman Reigns saga. I feel like SmackDown is the Roman Reigns soap opera. That's really what SmackDown has turned into.
General Hospital?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I like the opening promo where Roman Reigns called that Edge. It's like, I'm not afraid of you. You might be in my head for like 10 seconds when I was worried.
His heel work is very top notch.
Yeah. Sure, I might have been scared for like, I had some fear for
shit.
Yeah, for 10 seconds, but I overcame those odds. So he's trying to say like, I'm the best because I know how to overcome adversity like that and still beat you. Then the Usos come out and, Roman told Jimmy, it's like, hey, I didn't take vacation last week. I went to go take care of do your job and ultimately bring back his other cousin, Jay. And then all three of them hug it out. So it looks like they're all on the same page right now.
Very Heart Foundation type of love, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
When they reunited.
So it was very interesting. They all hugged it out. They're all on the same page, even though Roman was like staring upward and like licking his lips. I thought that was kind of funny. So, and then
he's thirsty.
he's a little parched, but
Mountain Dew.
And then so later on, Roman told his cousins to go handle this on his own, go to the ring to confront Edge. Edge is in the ring waiting, and then Roman comes down, and all of a sudden the Usos come down and don't listen to what he says. Do you think Roman is going to be pissed off that his cousins don't listen to what his orders are and stay backstage?
Well, they were right to come out. So
yeah, so they all start attacking Edge, and then the Mysterios come out and they all brawl. So it's a 3-on-3. So obviously that's probably telegraphing the Usos and the Mysterios for the tag titles coming up. Edge takes another chair bar and puts it on Jay now, so he completes the trifecta of everyone getting the bar in their mouth. So nice little photo he I think put on Instagram as well of him taking out all the members of the family.
Very disrespectful.
Yeah, so Roman walks off. He gets out of the ring. He's walking up the ramp, and Edge is just rubbing his face. Like he's beating the crap out of his two cousins. So Edge stood tall with the Mysterios by his side. So, I'm excited, for this Edge, Roman Reigns, Money in the Bank for the Universal title. I have a feeling Seth Rollins is going to interfere, though, and cause Edge the match, and then it's going to lead to Edge and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. But hey, I'm still going to enjoy this match. But is there anything else from that last segment that stood out for you?
I'd like to see a 6-man tag team match with those guys.
Probably next week.
That could work.
For the first show with the fans back.
Samoan Dynasty against Rey Mysterio and his former tag team champion partners.
Was he a tag champion with
Edge?
With Edge?
Oh my
2002 or 3.
Man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, jeez.
I'll go look that up.
I was
it on
always
SmackDown?
upset. I was always upset when Edge won a tag team title, but with someone that wasn't Christian. So,
Really? Okay, let me see accomplishments, Danny. I'm going to look real quick.
It was SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
He won it with Hogan as well.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Okay. WWE Tag Team Champions 2 times. Rey Mysterio and Jericho. That's right. And then
Tag team champs with
Christian 7 times. Hogan once. Benoit twice. Randy Orton once. Chris Jericho. And again. So him and Jericho twice. Wow. World tag titles and the ring. That's right. Those tag, because the World Tag titles, that was just the WCW titles that got renamed, right? If I remember
No, those
correctly.
were the SmackDown.
Yeah.
The ones that went to Raw were the original lineage of the
Right.
tag team titles, while the SmackDown version was a newly started tag team title.
Right.
Post
right.
WCW.
New
right?
lineage.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Benoit and Angle for the first.
That's right.
And I remember Paul London and Brian Kendrick were tag team champions.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. So, but no, I'm digging this. I'm curious to see what's going to happen, though, if there's any repercussions for the Usos not following Roman's orders, though. That's
Are you
something-
worried? You worried?
I'm worried for the Usos.
It's a cause for concern for you.
Absolutely. So,
God.
but hey, I'm looking forward to this next episode of SmackDown. First one in front of the fans and Money in the Bank the following Sunday. Raw this week was already pre-taped, so
let me ask you boys something before we sign off here. Any surprise predictions for this coming week? Is Raw in front of a crowd, or is it starting with SmackDown?
Raw this week has already been pre-taped, but it was Thunderdome, so that's technically the last one that's going to air. And the next Friday, SmackDown is going to be the first one in front of the fans. I mean, who knows if John Cena is going to show up? Becky Lynch obviously is going to come back at some point, but I think technically she's still a Raw competitor. So
I don't think they care about that anymore.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like whatever show needs the star power.
Well, hey, Becky Lynch against Rhea Ripley.
Dude, take my money, of course.
There you go.
So, but yeah, I think Cena, Becky are the two closest ones. Brock Lesnar, maybe, but I know there's not a lot of talks going on right now, supposedly.
Well,
but,
when is there ever when Brock comes back, though?
Yeah. So, I don't know, but yeah, I think John Cena and Becky are the two, solid picks that they're going to show up either this week or the following week. So, I'm looking forward to it. Nonetheless, it's going to be good. Just, we've had the 11 months of the Thunderdome. I think it's a good time to kind of wrap it up and just,
you're going to miss it?
I mean, no, not necessarily. Of course, nothing beats a live crowd. I look forward to that. I would be interesting to see that.
You say that now. The first time I hear those CM Punk chants, I'm going to be pissed.
Actually, that's something. I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone like 5 years from now, be like some hipster kid, be like,
who?
I missed the Thunderdome era or something. That's why I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if there's going to be any like Thunderdome purists.
Give me 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I missed the Thunderdome. I like the screens better. I don't know. Damn fans out there.
I never got my time on the Thunderdome screen.
Fickle. Like Daniel Bryan was right. You're all fickle.
It's true.
Bunch of curmudgeons.
I miss Daniel Bryan. But anyway, exactly. Bryan Danielson.
I know him.
Yeah. So, on that note, let's start wrapping things up. Richard, where can all the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Pro Wrestling 101. And on Twitter, you can send your hate mail to at BabyHuey83.
Absolutely. Please follow me. I'm gonna post some photos from West Coast Pro Wrestling this past Friday. So, please give me a follow there.
See that.
Thank you, Richard, for the plug. I appreciate that. Tommy, how about you?
Hey, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at IronFist1982.
I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram, as Richard just kindly mentioned, at Baby Huey83. Of course, subscribe.
It was not kind.
Subscribe to In The Kliq on your favorite podcast platform. Follow us at In The Kliq. Get the merch, inthethe@gmail.com, all that good stuff. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Watch the videos. Leave a big like on the, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment as well. We appreciate all the interaction. Got to beat the whole algorithm of social media as a whole. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line because Huey said so.